We're here in Cambodia, and I am visiting with Wesley Samko, who is the Director for Adventist Mission for the Southern Asia Pacific Division. Is that right?
That's right, yes.
Fantastic. So I understand you actually used to live here in Cambodia as a missionary. Is that right?
Yes, we're here in Battambang, and I actually lived here as well as before that in Siem Reap,
Okay.
in a couple different places. So yes.
Okay. So coming back now, you're the coordinator for the division, so I imagine you come to Cambodia often. How has the church changed since the time that you were actually living here full time?
Well, that's a very good question. When we first came here, we moved into Battambang. It was an interesting thing because Battambang is the second biggest city in Cambodia.
Okay.
But even though it's the second biggest city, it's really not that big.
Okay.
But you kind of, Siem Reap, you get more the touristy feel. Phnom Penh's the big city. Battambang kind of feels more like the heart of the people.
Okay.
And so as we're here, we came. We had to literally drive around and knock on houses to see if we could find a place to live.
Oh.
And but when we went here, the church at that time was just a small handful of members, and we were worshiping in an older church. It was made of wood, termite ridden, ready to fall down with the next big wind. And the people here are so poor, just no ability to change anything. And I remember just praying to God, saying, God, how can this work be restored here? How can it grow again? Because it used to be a strong point when the church first began. How can it grow? And now there's a new UCI program that's happening here, a huge new center that's being built. The church is growing more vibrant. There's a lot of ministries happening to reach the surrounding communities again. So it's really exciting to see how, in a way, God answered that prayer as we prayed back then for the work of God to move forward and to branch out. So it's exciting to see how God has taken hold of the mission here and really spreading things.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Can you tell me a little bit more about their vision for the UCI? Like, what will it include?
Yes, I think for all urban centers of influence, which is what
Yes.
UCI stands for, sorry, I always get caught up in these
We
little
use the
letter
terminology.
things. Yeah, the whole purpose is to try to create an opportunity to connect with the community and to be able to really build those, not only just a chance to meet and talk with people. Now everyone's on their smartphone and it's hard to even have a conversation.
Even
So
here in
not just-
Cambodia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's amazing. You go into a small village and somehow they have a smartphone. But
Right.
anyway, so the idea is to try to create some kind of contact with the people so that there's an opportunity for relationship, but not just a casual conversation, something that allows the relationship to go deeper, so that there's opportunity to look for people who the Holy Spirit is working in, to look for spiritually interested people, and then working and partnering with God to try to really serve those people, to help them to know God and see God in a deeper way, so that they can begin their own relationship with God. So I think that's really the idea, is different things that will happen with the center. They're looking right now, starting with language lessons, music classes. There's some Bible classes and the group of believers that meets on Sabbath morning.
Right.
But to be able to extend those points of contact and ways of contacting with the restaurant and other things in the future, clinic, but really to be able to get into the lives of people, to really begin to see, who are those who God is working in? How can we help them grow, and how can we help them experience and disciple into a relationship and life with God?
Right.
So that's kind of the view. Create those contacts, make those relationships, and see God work through them to create disciples.
All right. That's wonderful. That's what I'm so excited to hear about this work.
Yeah,
So-
me too.
So what are some of the specific challenges that Cambodia as a whole is facing, or the Adventist Church in Cambodia specifically?
I think, as in many places, especially, since Cambodia went through such a devastating time during the years of the Khmer Rouge, there's a lot of pain and stuff in the lives of people, but also, some of the things that we expect in some of our other cultures from different places around the world, we have a history of education and of development and of growth. And so here, you can imagine kind of a generation being taken out and that's lost. And so really, I think in Cambodia, there's a lot of kind of restored education and growth and building of capacity again. And I think especially for the church, the church didn't exist for a while in this country. And as refugees began, we reached people in the refugee camps. They came back into the country and began to share their faith in different places in small groups and through a discipling process. But as that came back, as the church grows and as there's more need for different kinds of gifted people and individuals with leadership, to be able to really have the capacity and the knowledge and the skills and confidence to be able to reach out. So I think that is one of the huge things that we can pray for. God says pray for workers to go into the harvest field, but also for resources to be able to get the work done.
Right.
So I think those are two huge things that we can always pray for this country.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. That's powerful.
Thanks for your time also.
Appreciate it. And thank you so much for joining us today. Remember to always pray for Cambodia and the work here.